Okay, everybody, what we have here is a Cayenne 958.2 matrix style headlight. And as you can see here, it suffered some water damage. So this seems to be a fairly common issue on these headlights. And if you start seeing moisture, water droplets on the inside of your lens, that's a sign that your headlight is going to die soon. Because what happens is all of that moisture collects in the bottom of the headlight where your headlight ballast is, and your headlight ballast fills with water, and then it's done, and your headlight's done. So you want to try and address the condensation inside of the headlight as soon as possible, so that you don't end up having to either completely replace your headlight or buy a new ballast and try and reseal your headlight. So what I want to show you today is actually how to remove the lens on your 958.2 matrix style headlight. I looked all over the internet for procedure, for video, didn't exist. So I tried to do it myself. And I'll tell you what, sneak peek, I was successful. How did I do it? Well, this is the procedure that I followed. Maybe there's a better one, but I haven't found it yet. So what you're going to want to do is remove the headlight ballast from the bottom of the headlight, the AFS module from the side of the headlight, remove the back cover from the headlight, and then inside there's a fan. Remove that fan. And what you're just trying to do is protect all of the electronics that you can protect, because the next step is to put this in the oven at 200 for 20 minutes. After you've had it in the oven at 200 for 20 minutes, you're going to pull it out. And then around the perimeter of the headlight lens, there's these little staples. So like around here, here, and all the way around the lens. So just look for them. Just use a little flathead screwdriver, pull those staples out. Because if you don't pull those staples out, that lens is not coming off, and you're going to have a more difficult time than a really, really difficult time, because I'm not kidding, this was about 6 hours of labor to actually get this headlight lens off. So I don't know if it's actually worth it in the end. Maybe it's, more cost effective for you to go buy a new headlight, or I know there are some people out there that actually replace these lenses, but I believe what they do is they actually cut the original lens and then remove the pieces in sections, because this is a very, very labor intensive project. So if you are considering taking this project on, maybe think twice, think thrice, because it is going to take a long time. So I'm just doing this as an experiment, just trying to figure out, was it even possible to remove this in one piece without breaking anything? Answer is yes. Yeah, this is how I did it. So after you remove those staples, put it back in the oven again for another 20 minutes. And then what you're going to want to do is get a utility knife, or, like a spudger tool, just something to get in there between the headlight lens and the casing and start trying to separate the glue from the headlight lens and the casing. So just running along the headlight lens with your utility knife or your spudger or some other type of tool to actually get that separation between the lens and the channel that it actually sits in right here. So you're cutting along just actually between the glue and the headlight lens so that you can separate the headlight lens from the glue. And so there's going to be differing amounts of glue along the perimeter depending on who glued it. In my case, there was a lot of glue at the bottom here, not so much over here. And so you're just going to want to continue that cycle of going in the oven to kind of like soften up the glue, come back out, try and separate it, go back in the oven, come back out, try and separate it more. And once you've found a spot that is very loose, or not very loose, but somewhat loose, because again, I can't overstate how labor intensive this was. But once you find a spot that is loose, go in with some kind of tool. Maybe screwdriver is not the best tool because it's not a very wide surface area. But go in there and just try and separate it out. And then put something in there to hold that separation, right? And then try and pop out another area. Try and hold that separation. Now I'm making it sound easy, but this was, again, very, very labor intensive. Just going back in, trying to separate a small area. Going back in the oven, trying to separate a small area. Come back out. Try and separate a smaller area and just keep working your way around the lens until it is entirely separated. And yeah, again, there you have it. It is possible to remove the lens without destroying it. So the next step is obviously to either clean this original lens, put it back on, reseal it, or there's some aftermarket lenses out there. I can't comment on the quality of those aftermarket lenses, but those are also available if you want maybe a new fresh looking lens. But again, I don't know how long that lens will last. But the last tip I want to give you here is just about removing the glue after you've got the headlight lens off, because that can be very, very difficult if you don't do an upfront preparation. So you can see, like, I almost got this whole strip, and this looks really easy, but it's easy because of the preparation. What you want to do is cut across the seal, because it's in a kind of a U shape inside this channel here. So you want to get the whole piece of the glue or the seal here. You want to get the whole piece so that you can pull it all out in one piece. Because if you start trying to go in little pieces like this, it's going to take you another 6 hours to get the glue out. So, just a little amount of preparation and trying to get that clean cut all the way across so you can pull the full piece out will allow you to almost pull the glue out in one single piece. So that's pretty much it for removing the headlight lens from the 958.2 matrix style headlight. I'm going to do a follow-up video where I kind of experiment with different ways to reseal this, different products, try and figure out the best way, what works the best. I might try one of those aftermarket lenses as well, try a couple different ways so that we can, as a community, figure out how to repair these headlights, because these are very costly headlights. And once that water condensation starts getting inside the headlight, you don't have too much time before your headlight ballast is toast. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in follow-up part number 2.